Let's kick this off with a quick Q&A. I'm very curious to know how many of us never listens to music. Please raise a hand if you agree. That's what I was kind of expecting. How many of us only occasionally listens to music? How many of us listens to music on daily basis? This is what I was expecting because I know we all need our music, not only for entertainment, but also for the emotions that it evokes for us every single day. And I'm pretty sure all of us experience that feeling when we associate the song with a special event or with a special someone that brings us joy or sadness. And to a lot of people, however, it's just a song and they have no idea how the music and the lyrics have been created. And that's fine, but I guess we all don't have to know how the art is being created in order to appreciate the art. But I have to say the process of creating music, it's fascinating. And do you know who have played a significant role in the music industry, often not getting any recognition or rewarding due to them? Women. Let's explore some of the underappreciated legends. Ella Fitzgerald, Song's First Lady. She have broken many barriers, being the first African-American woman, winning 19 Grammy Awards and performing at the Super Bowl. Next, we have Carole King, who's one of my biggest influences. She was basically the first major female songwriter who wasn't a ghostwriter in 1960s and 1970s, and she's still writing a lot of songs for a lot of famous artists. We can talk on and on about Aretha Franklin and her major recording Respect, which is still like a feminist anthem, and everyone listens to it and feels empowered and appreciated. When it comes to self-determination in music industry, no one has done it more than Madonna. She's been pushing boundaries with a mix of controversy, and she went from being a young woman, moving to New York with only $35 in her pocket, to a living legend owning her own record label. Taylor Swift, she re-recorded her songs in order to own the masters for her songs because a lot of labels and her management was taking advantage of it for a very long time behind her back. And just last week, she was the very first artist in history hitting the top 10 of Billboard and having all the songs on the top 10 in 2022. My entire life, I've been obsessed with music. I've been connected to music. I started playing violin when I was 5. And I have to say, I've been there, done that. And it's not easy at all, especially being a female in the music industry. Although there's a lot of females that are making a big change in the industry, there's still a lot of inequity that can be improved. There are a lot of artists like Diana Ross, Big Mama Thornton, Martha Wash, JoJo, Darlene Love, Taylor Swift, Kesha. All of them have a very bad experience in the music industry, and this is just a little 1% of the list of artists that have been struggling throughout their careers in the music industry. One of my favorite bands, TLC, I'm pretty sure all of you will remember their late 90s songs such as I Don't Want No Scrub, Scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. This group is a Grammy-winning group who couldn't even make money out of their music career. They generated $178 million revenue, but they only got 1% out of it, which is roughly 40 times less than the profit that was split between the band's management, production, record label, and the entire team, which is to me insane. I'm an artist manager, a singer, songwriter, and I've been in a band since I was 14 years old. And that was probably the best time of my life, as me and my entire band were in love with music. And we've tried to do our best to make a change and present classical instrument like violin in a totally different aspect than playing rock music or jazz or blues with violin, doing our own arrangements. But throughout our whole career, we had we had good opportunities, but at the same time, we're facing a lot of challenges because a lot of people were taking advantage of us being not paying us at all. We literally didn't make money out of our musical activities at all because they were thinking, oh, those are young girls, they won't complain, they could do a favor and play for free. Or when a male was reaching out to us for an event or whatever celebration it was for a concert, they wanted to ask us to dress more attractively. And we were only 14 and 15, and we're saying no to all of these offers. But at the end of the day, we were just as any other band, just praying for one day a good agent from a record label to come and find us, take us under their wing, and guide us through our whole career process, which obviously didn't happen. And now that I think about it, I see a lot of things that were wrong throughout our career that if I had the right education before, I would have made it better, but still it's very hard in the industry to establish yourself as a band or an artist, not being judged by your gender or being expected to look or do certain things that people think you're gonna do. 1 year before, I was at my lowest place where I was seeing my friends, the artists I was managing, struggling a lot. And I was asking myself, why do artists need labels? Why do artists are being abused the entire time of the music industry? And a lot of people don't even know about these stories. And that made me so sad, so I decided to dig into all the information I could come across. I took courses of IP law, copywriting law, to try to figure out what is exactly wrong and what can I do, because I believe if there's a will, there's a way. And after discovering the whole position and the structure of the music industry and who does what, I've realized that there's no position in the music industry for that will basically take care of the artist unconditionally without expecting them to share a commission and like based on that kind of sell the artist to the places that they don't want to be sold to or do things that they don't want to do, but they have a contract, they have to do it. All of these questions were making me very, very frustrated. And I've decided that I want to work on establishing a community, company, nonprofit, call it whatever you want. I call it myself a babysitting for artists. I want to create a safe space for artists. I want to provide them with the free attorney services just to make a space where they can tell their stories freely and don't feel that they will be criticized. I want to make a space that will teach them and give them the tools to start their careers unconditionally, and just to make sure that they find a good fit in the community that will help them to start their careers and launch their music freely without thinking that they have to give something to someone back. And most importantly, a place that will teach them to read their contracts, which is the biggest issue that artists are facing, because they usually trust someone who's given them offers, and this one thing breaks their entire career into pieces. Nowadays, we're very lucky that we have the technology to learn everything online, to record music in our closets. That's what I usually do, because it really sounds good. And I've decided to dig into new platforms that could help artists to make money out of their music too, without any support, because they don't have money to invest in their music, and if they don't want to deal with someone else, then they have to have the knowledge to do it themselves. And I discovered the blockchain and Web3 platforms for me. Nowadays, the entire music industry is concentrated on the Web2 labels, which usually don't give the best deals to the artist, and that's the saddest part. But at the same time, now with the Web3 labels, they can make their money and not like be more close to the audiences, which is to me one of the biggest keynotes for the successful music career for an artist. Also, with launching their music with NFTs, they can generate profit without being based on or depending on someone else. And to me, that's very, very important. But unfortunately, a lot of artists don't have that knowledge or don't have that confidence in them. On the other hand, there's a very, very big thing. As I said, I was in a band. We didn't have any money to invest in our music, but we had the work ethic, we had the network that was there for us the entire time, and that's how our band became well known in my country. And I think that that's one of the very big keynotes, if not the biggest keynote, for an artist to establish their own community, their own network that's going to be there for them throughout their entire career time. I want to finish my speech with a song by an artist, Sigrid. I've done my own version of the arrangement, and this song is very important to me because she wrote this song after going out of the label, signing off the label that she was in, after experiencing the very weird, unfair treatment of the industry. And she wrote the song about it, and I hope that this song will give you a very good understanding of how female artists feel in the music industry and why do I talk about this from this stage, and why do we have to work more to make this industry better tomorrow for female artists? Excuse me. Thanks. You shut me down, you lack the control. You speak to me like I'm a child. Try to hold it down, I know the answer. I can shake it off and you feel threatened by me. I've tried to play it nice, but don't kill my vibe. Don't break my stride. You think it's so important to me, don't you? But I wanted you to know that you don't belong here. You think it's so important to me, don't you? Don't kill my vibe. You like to tear me down and pick me apart, then build me up like I depended on you. Well, I throw myself from heights that used to scare me. Guess you're surprised I'm the puzzle you can't figure out. I've tried to play it nice, but don't kill my vibe. Don't break my stride. You think it's so important to me, don't you? But I wanted you to know that you don't belong here. You think it's so important to me, don't you? Don't kill my vibe. Say I'm young, I don't care, I won't quit, no, no, no. Say I'm young, I don't care, I won't quit, no, no, no. You acting like you heard me, but I'm not even listening. Acting like you heard me, but I'm not even listening. Don't kill my. I think it's so important to me, don't you? But I wanted you to know that you don't belong here. Think it's so important to me, don't you? I've tried to play it nice, but don't kill my vibe. Don't break my stride. You think it's so important to me, don't you? But I wanted you to know that you don't belong here. You think it's so important to me, don't you? Don't kill my vibe. Thank you.